Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to Terminal Conflict. If you've ever seen that movie, War Games, with Matthew Broderick from the 80s, you'll know exactly what this is all about. We're going to take command of NATO and NORAD forces during the Cold War from like 1946 all the way up to sometime in the 80s, and we can play as both China, the Soviet Union, and also the United States/NATO, and go to war. We can actually launch nuclear strikes and command the armies of the Cold War as they were at the time. I guess we need to make a profile here as if we were like an underground at like NORAD somewhere in some secret base, and we're going to take command and try to command all of our troops. So let's go ahead and create a username and password then. I guess I'll do that now. I guess I can do one without a password. All right, well, let me just enter. There we go. We'll enter a password then, and now we can play. Welcome to your terminal, greatest show in strategic decision making. Okay, so, I have to actually enter. Oh yeah, and you can find out who you win and lose against. It's a multiplayer game as well, so you can run a couple of tutorials. There's a couple of campaigns you can play against the computer, and then you can also play against other players online too. So let's go ahead and get into my profile here.
Hello! I'm glad you found me, brave player.
Oh yes.
It's always nice to see new faces besides my own. I used to be a bit of a lonely chap, you see. It's a long story.
Oh, so we get to actually choose some things. Your voice perhaps needs volume adjusting. Where do I start?
Okay. Press War Games mode, select a scenario, then press Initiate.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Alright, so essentially we're getting into kind of how it was in the movie, where it's in the movie they hacked into this system, but here it's we're running simulations then for land combat, sea, and air. There's going to be more modes to this as well. The game is not fully complete, so there will be more giant campaigns. We can play as, for example, China. We can play as the United States, or kind of like a world campaign. But for now, let's run through the tutorial of land, sea, and air and see what Terminal Conflict has to offer. Again, if you guys want to support the channel and what I do here, make sure you click or tap that like button to let me know you love me and want to see more. I appreciate everyone's support and all the new subs, so thanks very much for keeping the channel running with your love and support. Access granted. DoD Record 101A, Attack, Victory, the simple and lovely pleasures of command. What's interesting, too, is that there's an archives catalog. I think this game has a lot of hidden stuff to it, too. There's a lot of, like, hidden codes and things like that. If you take your time, I think you can read out exactly what a lot of this stuff has to do. Like, this one has something to do with some sort of a message. I think there's hidden stuff in the game. Maybe not, but there's a lot more to do. Like, if we click next here, I don't know exactly what will happen, but then there's codes hidden in here. Happy birthday, Mr. President, etc., etc. That's, I think, a Marilyn Monroe reference. And then this implies that all of the former president's dogs were robots. Presidential pet patch notes. And then has something to do about robotic pet production terminated. So I have no idea. There's a lot to this game that is a little bit more than what we think. So anyway, let's get into War Games mode. Let's run some land combat. So if you want to do, simulations of the Cold War through this, you can do that. And then there's other funny stuff to do, I think, and learn about.
Arms race.
Welcome. Every effort is being made to make your terminal easy to use and learn. This lesson gives you a chance to discover this powerful machine, even if you've never used a Cold War processor before. It's a great strategic practice. Press OK now. Alright.
Greetings. See here. 2 U.S. Army commands standing together as friends.
Yeah.
And it's friends like these that win battles.
I think he has a really friendly tone, and then he could probably turn on us. There might be more to this game than just Cold War simulation. There could be some sort of a crazy thing where the computer takes control of all the missiles or something like that, and you gotta battle the computer. Tell me all about it.
True companions, side by side in the crossing point between us and the USSR. A circle of friendship covers all the flanks.
He's referring to NATO.
And that was the USSR's militaristic move.
Its unit type yet unknown, represented by the diamond.
Okay, so they moved into Yugoslavia. A swift response. An urgent decision has been forwarded to you by the military. With Soviet armed forces detected in the Yugoslav Albanian zone, the USSR strengthens the tactical isolation of U.S. influence in the war-torn Greece, sitting a supposed Soviet defector and sensitive to further deployment along the Yugoslav border. The Joint Chiefs conclude the maneuver is not defensive, but the start of an invasion, fearing immediate defeat of the U.S. force in the Western WEEU theater of war. They issue an early morning recommendation of immediate U.S. engagement in an attempt to control the situation. Alright. So we actually get to choose different paths and things here in this game, but I suppose this is on rails for now. Operation Bounding Overwatch from the Department of Defense, recommending immediate orientation of friendly forces and approval to intervene in the Yugoslav Albanian zone. Feel free to review important topics. For information to quickly access Theater of War, press the theater name at the top. I guess that's in the future. Press and hold on the military, okay. Military expended by nuclear space race. Approved. Press and hold Western Europe. I'm holding. Select to view this theater. Sir, what do you want me to do? Quick access. Select to view the theater. Well, I'm clicking here. Oh, you just got to click once. It said click and hold. Let's see. Access report in the fog of war. Enemy unit intelligence levels are undetected, detected, or identified. Army commands provide frontline military intelligence and detect enemy land, air forces, adjacent regions without need for an active order. When engaging an enemy unit, it will be identified for one turn. Featuring the state-of-the-art unit protection, the machine will visually display adversary forces by commanding all friendly intelligence. Okay. I want an orientation on the unit readiness, so we need to identify what that enemy unit is. Let's see. Access on the combat ready unit status. Lots to read here. Combat ready, engaged, reorganizing, or withdrawing. Okay, so light blue means that they're ready, dark blue means they're engaged, transparent is reorganizing, and outline is withdrawing. Okay. Grants use. Okay, so this is basically to identify what a unit looks like. Okay. Military unit, if it becomes engaged, it's unavailable for selection for 4 turns after attacking. Okay. There's a lot to read here for the rules, but I want to see some battle here. So let's return to the military menu. Let's see, it all makes sense. What's next?
Not to worry, we have the 2 combat-ready army commands of our own.
Alright, awaiting decision, press and hold. You just gotta click, it says press and hold, but all you gotta do is click. Alright, approved. Initiate the...
Select first BFF Army Command in Italy.
I think BFF stands for Best Friends Forever, since that's what he was referring to before. It couldn't possibly mean anything else.
Icon below the map.
Alright, so we're going to send troops from Italy. So we're going to send this tank army or whatever it may be. Run combat orientation. Go. Press and hold. Now we got to hold.
Now move it into enemy territory. Yes. We must be careful when declaring a war zone. Try not to do this too often. We wouldn't want to destroy the world.
Yeah, we certainly wouldn't.
For now, let's proceed. But beware. In a war zone, any military unit can be destroyed.
Alright, continue.
Great. After reaching a stalemate, both our and their army commands are reorganizing. For a time, they'll be unavailable. This means we need another unit to join in and give us the advantage. Good thing we have a friend on standby. You know the procedure.
Alright, so we're going to attack again in order to eliminate that Soviet unit.
Fantastic. Our 2nd Army Command engages, the stalemate is broken, and the enemy Army Command destroyed.
Okay, so we stopped Yugoslavia from falling.
Best friends are essential in winning battles. Just like us, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, perfect. So that was a quick
this may
tutorial.
Be the beginning of a winning streak and the friendship of a lifetime.
Alright, let's go on to see some sea combat. Today's shipping forecast, westerly breeze with the soon-to-be-defeated enemies. Utilize the strengths and weaknesses of different fleet types. Cool. So we saw some tank battles. That was really on rails, so hopefully the ocean is a little more unforgiving. Whoa. Oh, looks like the Soviets...
They press their advantage. The Soviet surface fleet declares Italy a war zone and destroys our submarine fleet. A sneaky, open-handed slap. Be mindful of our surroundings.
Alright, roger that.
Learning we're vulnerable is more important than thinking we're invincible. Our fragility was staring us in the face.
Acknowledge it.
Be careful, friend. Winners don't go into fights swinging madly with their eyes closed and their backs exposed. Like our naive enemy, blinded by their shallow ignorance, opening themselves up to a counter-blow. The surface fleet's main shortcoming are attacks from carrier fleets, and we have one combat ready. You know what to do.
That's our carrier fleet? That certainly just looks like a couple of arrows. Alright, so we want the 6th Fleet, which is the carrier, to attack the Soviet surface fleet then. So click.
Yes, you see?
So they attack from
Everything has a
Spain.
flaw. Now their surface fleet is destroyed.
Excellent. So this is taking place from 1946 to 1950.
Carrier fleet, no match for their submarine fleet. It has come full circle. Irony? If only we had a perfect weapon to destroy their... Oh, we have a surface fleet in Spain. Handy.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll have the 2nd Fleet attack the submarine fleet now. So destroyers will go in and
We saved
attack the
day.
subs.
We found their weakness and exploited it with strength.
How the hell did their submarines attack from
You win.
the other side of
Now
Italy to
celebrate
Spain?
by winning again.
That was interesting. How did they have possibly submarines fire, what, torpedoes over Spain or Italy into the waters near Spain? What was that all about? I don't know. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. Air combat. For this flight, passengers are reminded to win. Take the skies to disrupt enemy advances and gain air superiority. All right, let's initiate.
Arms race.
All right. Oh, look at that. Now we got 1946 to
Ouch.
1950,
This is
so
what I call a rough start.
we're not looking at, you know, F-15s and stuff. What do I do?
Think ahead, of course. A plan of action for that unwanted turn of events.
Oh, good. Now we got access
Eyes
to
on
land,
the
sea, and
prize.
air.
Enter the world of intelligence. Send a recon mission to Greece. Reveal their units and uncover their plans.
All right, I'm assuming this is the recon CIA. Oh, wow. We get to have the CIA send out some recon. All right, send it to Greece. And what do we have?
Revealed a lot of enemy army commands.
A lot is 2 words.
Bombing run. We just have to get rid of that pesky fighter command.
All right, so we need to eliminate their fighters. I don't see that they have any. How do I detect that they have fighters? I don't see a plane or any indication of that. Okay.
Don't panic. We'll use our brains. 1 step ahead, not 4 steps off a cliff. Send an army command across the sea into a surprise attacking position. The surface fleet awaits its cargo.
Oh, we're going to load troops up on... Oh, nice, a naval invasion. Move to the adjacent land region, okay. So hop on board, boys. And then... 2nd Fleet to Greece. There we are. Interesting.
They're trying to break through. How ignorant. Gain air superiority. We have a combat-ready fighter command. I'll let you do the honors.
Alright, so from the United Kingdom, the 3rd Air Force will be flying air cover at Greece.
Top gun. Both fighters are now reorganizing, and the enemy air presence is swatted.
Really? Okay. Oh, I see. We won and we
It's not
returned.
over yet. We need to disrupt the enemy advance. The bomber command possesses that capability. Let's attack Greece and clear a path for our seafront assault.
Okay. Let's do it. Drop some bombs, baby. 8th Air Force hitting the beaches of Greece.
The bomber command forces all enemy army commands in Greece into reorganizing.
Oh, that gives us the advantage.
Futile reply. If only they knew. I can't wait to see their faces when we initiate our surprise attack.
Alright, drop off the troops. And...
Surprise!
Surprise!
A successful plan. Traverse the worst and end up first.
Oh, wow, so we won there.
You win! Now celebrate by winning again.
Wow, we kicked their ass but with 6-1. Very nice. Excellent. So we know the basics of land, sea, and air combat, so that's good. We can do a U.S. Grand Campaign or play as China or play head-to-head with a match that's your skill with the latest installment of a grand strategy campaign versus Mervyn. So I assume this is just playing as the AI in some pre-set up scenarios, and then we can play against players via hosting or joining. Let's do the U.S. Grand Campaign. That sounds interesting. That's the next one on the list. U.S. Grand Campaign, access granted, NSC record GC0001. Grand Campaign USA. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. The United States stands at this time the pinnacle of world power pursued by other powers. It is the courage to continue that counts. Initiate.
Arms race.
Alright, so now I think we get to play openly.
A good friend once told me, for the greater good,
Oh my God.
some evil might be required.
A new weapon. Choosing to enter the atomic age, the United States ends World War II with victory. Alright, so then it gives you details and everything like that.
It's going to take more than good deeds to curtail Soviet expansion.
Let's see, an encrypted message from Central Russia. Blah, blah, blah. Do not know how much longer I'm discovered. Pursuing more information, Mr. X. Probably about the Soviets' plans coming up then. The long telegram. Department of State. Mr. X identified to be George F. Kennan, Deputy Chief at U.S. Embassy in Moscow. Prepared domestic policies for Soviet containment. United States policy towards the Soviet Union must be that of a long-term, patient but firm, vigilant containment of Russian expansive tendencies. Prepare them. Congress will need to support it. Arrange a briefing by the U.S. Nuclear Force Commander. My administration is ready. Activates Western Europe policy's doomsday clock. Prepare them. Prepare who? The troops? Alright, let's just prepare, I guess. A sealed note. Congratulations.
Well, if you need me, just give me a tap. I'm always ready to serve.
I don't know why that pops up. I think that's a glitch. That's the tilde key automatically activating. So every time that pops up, I'll just have to press that to close it. Let's see. Give him hell, sincerely, Sherm. I don't know. Somebody named Sherman. Let's see. Carrying itself apart, etc., etc. All right, well, let's keep moving. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sherman Fowler, party chair. If we implement our policies for Western Europe in the correct order, the U.S. has a considerable influence to gain. I lead in Congress, but I never in my life call myself an elite, and I'm an Irish American. By God, we have to stand up to godless communism. Glad you came. Thank you for stopping by. I will consider it. I thank Congress for its support and ask that you prepare a full review for me on policy procedures. Let's see. Or, in the meantime, prepare for congressional report on U.S. influence. Let's go with the middle one. I don't know what the differences are, really. Let's see. Influence, no change. False flag in Panama. Oh, okay. So the Soviets are making their moves during this time. So I think we can possibly go to war if we want to, or we increase the presence of NATO. All right. Let's see. I thank Congress for its support and ask you prepare for a full review then. Okay, so now we're doing a formal introduction. Soviets make their move. Surakano has risen to power in the Pacific. Yes, there's also Mao Zedong and Kim Il-sung and everyone else who can gain power in the late 40s and early 50s. One of the great pillars of Asian communism, nationalism, and anti-imperialist and intellectual father of the guided democracy, he's committed to the dream of an independent Indonesia and should be the price of a pact with the devil. Alright, so this means that he's probably going to turn towards the communists. Glad you came. Thanks for stopping by. Those are the only options I can do. So I guess we have to wait. We're basically waiting and increasing defenses in Europe. Let's see. Arrange a briefing with the U.S. Nuclear Force Commander. All right, let's do that now. We're meeting with everybody, I guess, to find out what the Soviets are up to and what we can do to stop them. So I assume this game will probably simulate invasions at different points in time. You know, the 80s, the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. Let's see. Representing the likelihood of 0 to 10 of man-made apocalypse, fear is deterrence. I appreciate very much you taking time out of your busy schedule to participate in the briefing with strategic nuclear proponent. I recommend raising doomsday to at least 5 to midnight. Oh boy, it's getting hot. Let's see. Prepare my options by tomorrow on how to achieve the goal. I will consider it, prepare a full review on the launch procedure. Keeping our current posture. Give me some options by tomorrow. Alright, war zones are being moved. Alright, oh, Kim Il-sung's power has increased, so he's getting ready to invade. Kim Il-sung has risen to power in East Asia. He commands one tank group. Communist ideologue, the supreme leader fights nobly and tenaciously for the sake of Korean independence, even if one must question his claims that he was born in the heavens and neither urinates nor defecates. Yes, of course. Alright. We'll end our turn. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but there's nothing we can do then. Uh-oh. Now it's kicking off. Tito has descended from his mountain hideout together with his rebellious movement and officially organized the Yugoslav People's Army. Okay, so now we know that they're going to be turning more towards possibly the east. Anything could happen. I don't think this is an actual simulation of what happened during these times. Anything can change. So there's likelihood to see the same actors that we had seen in history, but will they do the same things? We will see. Looks like Western Europe is secure. Okay, very good. Contain the USSR and achieve 50% of control in Western Europe. All right, so now I think we need to stop any more nations from falling. So Yugoslavia there went that way. So we need to get a 50% presence. That's what it is. So we need to make sure that Greece and Yugoslavia are contained and that they don't fall towards communism. Okay, so it looks like they're done making their moves. Can we move anybody? I don't want to invade, but we do need additional support here. So what do we got? 7th Army standing by. Can we move them down to Italy? Let's do that. Let's see if we can move them down there. Alright, very good. So theater control, theater presence. So not only are we worried about Europe, but also all of the world. So South America, Africa, Asia, India, etc. Continents and regions alike. Oh, now things have moved forward to 1951. So the game is not played in just a short amount of time. You actually start in 46 and can move forward. Interesting. I thought it would just stay in like 46 and then you had to fight it out during that time. This was actually the beginning of the Cold War to now. Which is weird because we have this computer which was not around in the 40s. So I just assumed that we would play it out in different time zones or whatnot. Okay. Well, things are going fine here, but our goal is to maintain control of Europe, so we'll do that. Submarine Group 8. Looks like the Soviets are up there at Svalbard, north of Norway. I don't know if we go up there, does that immediately mean war? Like if I want to keep patrol of them, because it's a submarine, if I move up there, does that immediately attack them, or is that just us kind of stalking and watching? I don't know. Submarine Group 2, though, is in a good spot. The Soviets, of course, can come out through the Strait of Denmark here. Or, I think this is this Archangel or Murmansk? I can't quite remember, but the Soviets do have their northern fleet here that can go all the way around, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. Alright, Svalbard actually has two things, the second fleet and subgroup 11. So let's go ahead and continue to... Oh, we have air forces now in Europe. How do I add additional military? I want to make sure we add more troops. Like, I'd like to have some more armies on the ground. All we have here is the 3rd and 17th. And also, how do we finance expended by, okay. People. Okay, we have a problem here. Elites, we need some more elites. Use of, oh, it's expended by the use of intelligence. I'd like to use some of that, actually. Nuclear and space race government. Alright, so it looks like we got a lot of government options. Oh, what is this? Launch order authorization. Number 2 arsenal. Oh, wow. Okay, we're not... The doomsday clock, I think, needs to fill up in order for things to get hot. So let's see. State affairs. Oh, we can see other people who will be influences in the West. So right now, Charles de Gaulle is really who we're dealing with. Focus management. Deployed armed forces. Okay, we have 1, 2, yep, alright. I don't know if there's much we can do now at the moment, since we only have a few Air Force options here, and it's only 1951. So I would imagine we have much more. Soviets, I don't even think have built the Berlin Wall yet. So let's go ahead and finish our turn
Arms
here.
race.
The USSR has taken a prestigious step in the space race, earning 2 victory points. Ah, yes, you can do that as well. Oh, so there's different options for victory. That's so cool. So I think Man on the Moon means that you... Or rather, I think actually this is maybe the space station or the Hubble. Whoever gets their first telescope, maybe? Because the moon landing took place here. So, alright. No other options for us, so let's keep going. So 1 decision waiting, press to view outstanding decisions. Command reserves, okay. American culturalization. Gain 1 influence in this theater and 1 globally. Germany, I guess. Okay, I'll decide that later. Okay, what do we got? Here's Germany. Rehabilitation of Germany. This will cost some elite points for us. And... ah, good, we got some good options here. Marshall Plan. Oh yeah, we should have did that earlier. How do I go about that? I'd like to do that. French-Belgian zone. Let's do the Marshall Plan. Also, we can create NATO. Funding of NATO. That takes everything. All friendly controlled regions in the theater become dominated. Alright. Let's go for Marshall Plan. I want to definitely secure everybody. Trying to hold, but I don't know exactly how to deploy this. Command reserves, Marshall Plan. That's what I'd like to do. There we go. Oh, you just hold the button, I see. And then can we spend 1 elites on that? I see, so we don't have enough points. Okay, so we did everything else. That should affect these regions effectively. Good. Interesting. Alright, let's continue on. So Western Europe is at 45% now, with a 5% pact influence. Nice. That was the right thing to do. Okay, let's go to State Affairs, Focus Management, Theater Command. Okay, I think we did all the right moves here. How do I end my turn at this point? Rehabilitation of Germany. You guys are gonna have to wait, Germany. Sorry. Funding of NATO. Can't do that one. Rehabilitation of Germany. I don't think we have enough points for that. Okay. We can move our troops around a bit more. Can we move them here? Let's try to move these guys over here. 7th Army. Don't move in there. Looks like we can either move them to France, Germany, or Italy. Doesn't look like we can move them to Austria. Alright, time for the Soviets to make their moves. I right-clicked. I guess that's the way to make the move. Oh, we're almost winning. We went from a small presence to 45%. Wonder if we can invade Yugoslavia. That would be our last move then, in order to gain control. So let's go ahead and liberate them. Let's go ahead and do that. War zone declaration. Let's see. This could force a massive response. For state security, the given order of affirmation is needed to move over into the USSR. Alright, let's go. Invade them. We need to bring America. The free territory of Trieste. There's a proxy dispute developing between Italy and Yugoslavia regarding the governing of the tiny but strategic free territory, split into 2 separate zones of control. Soviet containment. I'm content and confident the current level of pressure against Soviet forces, reiterating previous statements representing likelihood 0 to 10 of a man-made apocalypse, fear as deterrence. Let's see. Juan Perón has risen to power in South America. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Department of State, free territory between the Italian Corsican zone and Albanian. Let's see, what do we need more of? Government, we're good on. Finance, I think we could use. Alright, let's +1. Or push for dissolution of the free territory. What's 1 FP? I don't know what that means exactly. Alright, let's go with the finance. And we'll decide later. Oh, the Soviets moved right in. I don't think so, sir. We're gonna move in and take your ass out. Conduct hostile forces against 1 non-carrier. Wait, what? Aren't they moving there? Interesting. Alright. And we have no air forces that we can use. These are not bombers, so they're only air force deterrents. We're at 45. That's interesting, though. How did they get 34 out of 75? I don't know what that means. Territories? I'm not sure. I wonder if we can move the 6th Fleet off the coast of Greece. There we go. Alright, the Soviets get their move now. Oh, doomsday is likely. Oh yeah, let's see if there's some nuclear stuff going on. A new governor candidate. Free territory between the... Okay. Special subcommittee has nominated a Italian pro-businessman Soviet candidate for the governor of the position. See, I don't want any commies. And it says he is a Soviet candidate. Italian pro-business Soviet candidate. How the hell is he pro-business then? Alright. I guess we don't get to use the sub again. Alright. And our armies are still cooling off. Looks like we have a nuclear option. Oh, okay, we could eliminate communism now, shall we? Projected casualties, 20 dudes. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know what 20 of our army units over 102? And 15 of 55. It would be an 82 America victory. Alright, let's launch some nukes. Why not? I honestly don't really fully understand what's going on because it's my first time playing, and I see a lot of real fun potential here with all the different options that you can make, both political and spying, and then also just rolling right in with the military. And it's cool that you get to play from 46 up into the 60s, 70s, 80s. That's really neat. And then you can kind of just, as time goes on, it gets harder because then Vietnam starts up, the invasion of South Korea starts up, and then you have to worry about stuff like that. And this is when it took place, I think, from, was it 53? It was sometime in the early 50s. Let's go ahead and launch some nukes and see what happens when we do that. Launch nukes. Okay, let's see. Target selection enabled. Yield selection enabled. Time on target sequence, 31 seconds. Alright. Victory must achieve. Secure 50% of Western Europe. Domestic interests, mismanagement. Lose all control. Oh, I see. If we're defeated. Oh, good. We just nuked someplace. I didn't even see where that was. Oh, there goes our nukes now. Ah, excellent. They're being fired from, looks like, what is that? Like around Tennessee, Kentucky? Yeah, when in doubt, nuke it out. Why the hell would we nuke Africa? Why did we drop nukes there? Okay, that made sense. Yeah, take that, Cairo, and your communism. Final score victory.
You win!
Yay!
Now celebrate by winning again.
America! Alright, perfect. What the hell? I guess we launched nukes before the Soviets even had it. Cure to communism? Kill it before it lays eggs. That's all you gotta do. That's it. Alright, I won. Communism was destroyed. Take that, Reagan. That's right, I did it way before Reagan did. Damn right. I have no idea how I won. All right, everyone, thank you very much for clicking and tapping that like button to support me. This game is really neat, and I see a lot of fun potential here. We're only scratching the surface, so if you're interested in Terminal Conflict, you can pick it up now on Steam for the PC, obviously, and yeah, we'll give another little campaign a try here. I see a lot of potential here for more fun, so we'll get into it more and nuke some more people as we probably start in the 80s. We'll try to nuke everyone as the Soviets. And anyway, go watch War Games, by the way, with Matthew Broderick. It is golden. It is so good. And then after that, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when he has to live his undercover life. That's how I like to see that one, is he has to restart his life, you know, to hide from the CIA or something like that. All right, goodbye, everybody. Thank you, and take care. Bye-bye.